How are you, everybody? It is me, Berhanu. Today, I will demonstrate a bit about database security, basically, which will focus on granting privilege access and just finally revoking that access from various kinds of users. And in the interim, we will try to just cover how to just propagate those access privileges to just different users. If we just deliver or allocate a particular access privilege to a certain user, so how that particular user will even propagate that particular access to the other user. So I will demonstrate those things. So initially I have to create a database, and then I will create tables in that particular database. Then we will just create different users. Then we will look to how to just grant privilege and how to revoke privileges. We will see shortly. So let me create a database called company. And so to create it, I have to apply create command, creates database. I'm going to just create a database, so I have to apply this command, create database company. So now it is just created. To confirm it, I have to just apply the command show databases. So here as the first line, it showed the new created database, which is company. So after this, I have to just create different tables. Maybe we are going to just create two tables, which is named department and employee. That is a bit enough for this show. So let me create those tables. So before just creating it, if we are going to just create a database object, we have to just change the database. So I have to apply use company database, use company, so semicolon. Then I can create those two tables under this company database. So let me just create a table. So if we are going to just create a database object, we have to just apply this create command. So create table, because I'm going to just create a table, create table which is named department. So in parentheses, I have to just put those attributes or columns that just manifests this department table. So department ID, which type is int. So let me put it primary key as a primary key, auto increment. Then the second attribute or column might be a department name, which is a kind of varchar type, varchar. Then I have to just specify the length. 50 is enough, and if just necessary, I have to, or if it is mandatory, I have to just apply different constraints after just I put or I just specify the column or the attribute name and it is type with length. Then I have to just determine if exists different kinds of constraints or rules. I have to just put not null here. So I have to end here semicolon. Query is okay. So this table is created. So confirm whether this table is created or not. I can just apply show tables command. So this department table is created in company database tables in company. So this department table now is created. Then let me just create one more table, which is an employee table. Let me change here employee, then employee ID, imp ID, int type, primary key, auto increment, then full name, which is varchar type. Let me specify the length. 50 is enough for this one, not null, semicolon. Then let me specify another column or attribute which is named salary. Salary is a decimal type, and I have to put the maximum length and the precision as 2. Then this are enough for this show. Now an employee table is also created in the company database, so these 2 tables are enough right now. So let me show whether they are created or not. Show tables. So these 2 tables, department and employee, right now are created, and we have to just apply what we are going to do in this show. So what we are going to do right after is we have to just create a user to access this database and this table. So let me create just one user first. Create user. So while creating user, I have to just use this create command, and it is just a user, so I have to say user. Then we have to specify in a single quote the name of the user. So let me right now let me just specify user 1. Then I have to put @ then I have to just specify the host. Now just I'm using my local machine, so I have to say local host. Then I have to just put password. So the command to put password is identified by. Then I have to put the password 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. This is just the password for this particular user. So this user later use this password to log in and access different kinds of grants